Freedom Day here in the state of New South Wales. I feel deeply for my friends in Melbourne or in Victoria. I'm obviously extraordinarily drunk. No, I'm not. It's the day for those internationals that are watching this that don't know what it means. It means that we receive in a democratic nation the freedoms in a democratic nation to do certain things in a democratic nation that is built on freedom if those are double vaccinated. And I'm not going to give my opinion on that. I'm just saying that I'm sure that there is going to be far fewer people watching this live because they will be at their church being the pub. And for those that watch this later on and are at the pub during this time, I hope you enjoy yourself. It's been a tough year. Anyway, so let us have a look at what is going on. And I want to focus on the weeklies. Of course, I'm going to go through all the different time frames and see, well, all the different time frames that have relevance. But my main aim is to have a look at the market and see how healthy it is on those higher time frames. G'day, Dan Pax. There's one thing that comes into my head when I think of the word Dan Pax. You might want to change your name there, mate. G'day, Winston, Jeff, and everybody else. Jenny, hi, Jenny. It's lovely to have you here. Okay, so let's just get a reality chunk. All right, so from the support, don't forget that was the support of this level that I drawn in. We talked about it a lot, and I am not a bragger, but that level certainly held. 39%, big move. Earlier on today, it was a little bit of a, how are we going to go here? We definitely have the ability to pull back deeper. There is no question about it, as we have had a very strong run with no pullbacks. Now, here's the thing, right? Let's have a look at the 4 hour, because I love the 4. It's my mid. Look at this. We shot up, boom. Messy, but it held its value. Then it rocketed. Messy. It's held its value. I certainly wouldn't say it's rocketed, but it's definitely had a very good start. Well, it's not even a start of the day. It's had a good run, 3.6% up as I speak to you right now. So it's very interesting to see what Bitcoin does next. I don't like these consolidation periods because they just don't offer opportunities for trades, especially when they're all a bit, hey, how you doing? And this one's also been a bit, hey, how you doing? I like consolidations for breakout trades, but we haven't had one here. We have not had one here. But with that being said, Bitcoin is moving, higher. It's ugly on the charts. It is overextended, and to have a pullback wouldn't surprise me, but it also wouldn't surprise me to see Bitcoin kick on. And here's the chart that tells me that, or gives me the perspective for that. You'll have understood me, or so you've heard me talk about the high-low potential here. I wanted to see it break this 53,000 mark. It did that. It did it very well. Now we've broken last week as well. So now we have a very clear higher low and higher high. I will say this right now to you. I would not be surprised at all, not in the slightest, to close or to start this time next week, 11 a.m. Australian Eastern, I think it's daytime, so AEDT. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see us above 60,000. Based on this weekly, based on the daily, I also wouldn't be surprised for a pullback. But the weekly here, it does carry a lot of weight. It has carried through very well, and it is starting to pick up some momentum. Now, if I just jump back to that 1 month chart, have a look at this. I talk about cradle zones. I talk about trading. I talk about investing. I talk about market structure and the way it works. And if you want to know more about that, you better be bloody ready. Yeah. Plug time. TRADERCOBB.com. It's a free course. You have nothing to lose and a shit ton to gain. We pulled back into that cradle zone. We saw this bullish monthly candle. an investor's candle perhaps. And since then, where we are, it's up 33%. And the way markets operate, if they are strong and healthy, is they pull back, then they set new highs. And I'm very much a part of that in my visions for Bitcoin at the moment, up 29% thus far. And we're 11 days into October. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty special. The daily could pull back, but it doesn't hurt those higher time frames either. Shut up, Ash. When I say shut up, Ash, you need to understand that Ash is a very valued member of our community, and he takes the piss from time to time. That's why I said that. So Bitcoin's looking pretty strong today, this week, last week, and this month. So for me, it's ticking a lot of boxes. Now, I can't actually remember the last time I had a trade on Bitcoin. And I love trading Bitcoin. It's just that I talk about cyclicity, I talk about optimal chart structure, all these different things. And like I said earlier, that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. Now, sure, I know that many people will have got long on this cradle right here, and I would have as well, but I wasn't there. 1-to-1 was achieved fairly quickly. Stop can be moved to there. Stop can be moved to there. Stop can be moved to there. So now you've locked in yourself probably 0.48%. If you scaled out half at this point, your stop is now currently here. If I was in that position, I'd probably let the stop run. I'd probably start to look at the higher time frames for trailing my stop loss, you know. But that's me. Bitcoin looks strong. Weekly looks strong. Monthly looks strong. Everything looks strong. The lower time frames look messy. Ethereum. Look at that. Won't you get a little slab of that? Bullish candle in the cradle. But is that a cradle trade if it was to close like that? That's the question I have to ask. Well, look at the 2-day. I would not suggest so. And here's the reason. I don't see a trend. I need a higher low. I don't have one. So that rules it out on the daily for a cradle. What about the 12-hour, which will close at 11? That candle is quite large, so it doesn't fit that either. Go to the weekly. Yeah, it's gone all over the show, right? Bullish candle right there. It's been a bit slow, and it's been getting a little bit of a flogging from Bitcoin. You know, it hasn't looked as pretty as as Bitcoin has done. On the monthly, it pulled back. There's our movement. Beautiful. The higher time frames, the perspective time frames, are showing a lot of beauty. But as far as as far as I'm concerned here on this 4-hour, there ain't nothing there. But again, it's strong. XRP, well, it sort of woke from its slumbers. Whilst we've seen other markets have these enormous runs, XRP has been very, very quiet. Now, I did buy a fair old wedge of XRP around these days because of my thoughts and theories and views around if the SEC drops its case or it gets settled or it gets whatever. I think XRP's got the ability to move higher. And I'm not saying this based on, I know some people go, oh, it's centralized and blah, blah, blah. Don't forget what I do. I'm a trader. I'm an investor. My objective here is to spread the word, to help other people, and then make a bean at the same time. That's what I do. That's what my drive is. That candle, I don't want to see it get a bee's dick bigger. I'm waiting on the 8-hour to see if I get a trade off of that, but it doesn't look too bad. All right, I don't mind it at the moment. As far as everything else goes, we'll flick to the weekly. You'll see the movement. Yes, bullish candle in the cradle. Yes, it's broken higher, but nothing like so many others. It pulled back earlier. It's had a very good move. I can see there being more potential, but at this stage, the only time frame of interest really is the 8. Why? One at the 4, because the 4-hour candle is relatively large. Dot. Sticky beak on Dot. Hello, Dot. Hey, mate. How you going? Yeah, I'm not too bad. 12-hour. Don't like it. Weekly. It's been a bit suppressed. It has been a bit suppressed considering you look at the weekly on Bitcoin. Bing. Look at Ethereum. Boom. Nah, well, not so much. XRP. Nah. Dot. Suppressed. And that's because we've seen Bitcoin's dominance start to come back after, of course, Dot had a stellar move higher, where Bitcoin's low to high was about 75%. DOTS is 276%. Ethereum is something around that range as well. Not to say that we're not going to see DOT go higher, but there's nothing there for me on the 4. The 8, there's not enough cyclicity. And we move to Doge. Doge, Smoge, Doge, meh. Messy, ugly, no interest at all. Binance. Low to high, pull back into the cradle. Let's look at that weekly. Yep, beautiful. It's come in. Big candle, 25%. Hasn't done much since. So what does that mean to me? Nothing. I'm not interested. And look, it might, sometimes there is just times where you go, look, I'm just not interested. And that's okay. Here's one of the biggest things with trading and investing for that matter, but absolutely trading. There'll be times where there's not much going on. Most people, especially if they're educated and they've got strategies and checklists and, I'll say this, most people that have done my course and have the checklist, when the market is running, they might overtrade, but I would suggest that a lot of the time there will be somewhat of a profitable period. It's up to them to keep that profit. And the part that they lose often or not in not keeping that profit is when the market goes cack. It goes a bit crappy. And they keep trading like the market's strong. And this is where the community comes in. This is where having access to daily videos and having access to our community, the whole 300 of us, really comes in handy, because you can make your money, but it's one thing to make it, it's another thing to keep a hold of it. Cardano, bugger all there. No interest from me at all. The weekly still looks pretty good. I agree with you, Winston. Is it even live? Paul, watch me. 2 blinks of the eyes. I said Paul Gray. 2 blinks. It's live. Bullish candle. It can still kick out. At the moment, after a massive run earlier in the year, the mid part of the year, it's gone a bit quiet. There's no interest in 4. Solana, very similar sort of case here. I'm not interested at all. Sure, the project, whatever. I don't mind what you think of it, and maybe it's got a huge upside available. But I'm a trader, and the weekly doesn't tell me anything. The daily doesn't tell me anything. All it tells me is that the chart's bloody confused. And if anything, it's a short, but there's no short. Why? Because there is no strong trend. Although there is a trend on the 2 hour, there is no trend on the 4. I'll move on. AVAX. Relatively newcomer to the market weekly, not telling me too much. Daily, again, lower high, lower low. It's in a daily downtrend. I'm not interested. And finally, on to uni. Very sideways, very choppy, very no thank you, my friend. Now, this is a relatively quick live that I've done for you because I do the top 10. And whilst you look at the market across that top 10, down that right-hand side there, you'll see a little green Christmas tree. It makes you think, wow, things are good. The whole point of doing this little top 10 scan is to help you to understand that, yes, while the numbers may be up, it's more about the cyclicity. It's more about the trend and what things are doing at the moment. And this is why I bring this to you. Now, guys, please like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and more importantly, have yourself a great day. Please continue to reach out to those friends, to all your friends. Let them know that you're there. If you're having a hard time, please make the call. I know how hard it is to do that when you are having that hard time. The grey clouds come over. But if you can't make that call, just understand this. Take those hard days 1 hour at a time. Okay? 1 hour at a time. You are worth it. You can do it. You are heard. You are loved. And it's really important to know that, because I'll keep it at that. I get information. People reach out to me. All right. I know it's hard. I know that especially those in Victoria or other lockdown nations, cities, whatever, I know that they're going to find it very hard, whilst the media is going to be portraying New South Wales Freedom Day heavily, whilst many are not in that position. And I feel for you, and I love you, and I can't imagine I'd ever be your port of call in your darkest days. But if I am, you please let me know, because You are worth it, as I say. You will be fine. You just need to get through those dark days, because the what do they say? The night is darkest before the dawn, and it doesn't take long for the sun to shine again. And I've got you back, and I love you, and I do this not. Look, it's a business. I want to make money with this business, but this is not my core reasoning for doing this. It's to help other people. It's to be there for other people. And if you truly need to reach out to me, you can find me on Twitter, TRADERCOBB. You can find me on Facebook, Craig Cobb. That's my personal, so please hit me up there. If you're in my Slack community, send me a direct message. If you have no other way to find me, email admin@tradercobb.com, and they have been alerted to tell me immediately. And generally what they'll do is they'll call me on the telephone and let me know. I genuinely am here for you. I genuinely want the best for you. And I also understand what it feels like to go through times. And I also know that there is light at the other side of the tunnel. Have yourself a bloody great day. Whether you've got Freedom Day or whether you don't, you have you, and you are very freaking good. Take care, and take care of others. Catch you, mate. Catch you.